Hello. Welcome to another video. In this video, I'd like to talk how to teach conversation. So along the way during my journey, I used to teach different ways for conversation. It really depends on the needs of the student. So once again, as I say all the time, you need to know your students. You really need to listen to their needs. And that's why I present and I explain very deeply in my courses. You need to know the needs. You really need to listen carefully what they're saying. If you don't reach the target, you don't gonna keep the student. You probably, if you just aim outside the target, you don't gonna have them long term. So that's something very important. Sometimes the problem is sometimes students, they think they know what they want, but they don't know. That's your job to manage. That's your job to know what is good for them. But let me explain to you everything for those two ways, and you will understand better. So the good thing with that, if you don't have niche, if you don't have diploma, if you don't really know what to teach, and if you want to have a good job and make enough money, you can be like a conversation specialist. For me, I have got two lessons. They are really like French communication mastery. So that's the content that I create myself. Then I teach communication, and then I have like a French conversation mastery, and I use those two ways. Depends on the needs of the student. Of course, with beginner, I cannot do conversation because they need to learn the basic. So when they are good B1, B2 level, like a good intermediate, now I can do like conversation. So here's my two ways. Probably you're not agree with me. It's okay with that as always. But I just going to tell you what I do. So the first way, so I make a presentation. I do a PowerPoint, or lately I use Canva to make a presentation to pump them up. It's beautiful. Of course, in my course, you can see on my website, I explain in details everything I do. I give everything. I show you, like I take you in to show you. So what I do, I use a lot of open question. So it's not an open question, it's a question and you ask something. They cannot answer yes or no. Or you can ask something yes or no, but you ask to ask why, basically. Okay. So what I do, you choose a topic. It can be anything. It can be, I don't know, love, the World Cup, I don't know, coffee, partying. It can be anything. You choose a topic and you go deep on that topic. You really make a presentation. I show you many ways, different things that you can do. For example, before watch a YouTube video, a small YouTube video with question, you can do an introduction, like ask a few questions to make them ready about that. There is like so many things that you can do. This is very good for people. They may have problem with listening, and because when they used to you for a conversation, it's sometimes kind of get tricky as well. So they have to listen to something else. So a bit of material. So that's what I like to do. When I work on that topic in a presentation, of course, there is like maybe like 50 plus open question about the topic. We go very deep, but I may divide it like maybe like 10 question. Then we do a small video with few questions, then 10 open question, like slightly different with we maybe we go a different way, but still on the same topic. Then maybe like a one paragraph on an article, these kind of things. Okay. And so that's why I wrote like materials. You need to prepare everything yourself. You make it fun. You make the following, and that's a good way to teach conversation. After, if you want to teach pure conversation, like when you talk to a friend, hey, hello, how are you? How's it going? What's up? No. You know, this kind of just conversation. This is the magic formula. So here's the things that you have to do if you want to succeed as a conversation. Because so many people, they just say, okay, I'm talking to you and I kind of don't care. I like so many of my students, they came to me, they say, oh, I used to have that teacher, very nice, good person, but you can see we're just talking about the same thing. It's not interesting, not learning much. We just like, it's just conversation practice. And the thing is, conversation is a skill. You cannot just like make them practice like by talking to them. You need to give feedbacks. There is things that you have to do, and that's what I'm going to teach you right now. So the first thing you have to do is to bond with the student. You cannot have a great conversation with someone that you don't like or someone that don't like you. It doesn't work that way. So the first thing you have to do, you have to bond with students. So I show in my course in one bonuses, I had a trial lesson and I show exactly how I bond with students when I say things that maybe we have in common, and that's something that I do all the time. And with my student that I have for a long time now, we are friends. Of course, I'm the teacher; they're paying me, so I always give value, but it's like we are friends. We have a conversation. Sometimes hours we just talk for an hour, and the hour like pass so fast. He's brilliant. He's amazing, and it makes you feel like you love your job when you're at this point. So you really have to bond with the student. There is many ways for that. So keep that in mind. After active listening, so okay, it makes sense to listen what they're saying, but you have to rephrase sometimes what they're saying to make sure you understand well, and you have to know the needs of the student very well as well when you listen, because maybe they've got more experience than you. I don't know your level. Maybe you're a language learner lover. Maybe you don't know any other language than yours. So maybe they know better. So you really have to find the sweet spot. But to always like listen very well. It's very, very important. So the third thing is very important. You always have to suggest idea. You cannot force anything. You say, oh, maybe we can work on that and do this kind of exercise. What do you think about that? You think it could be a good idea? If you do that, you will go with the flow with them. You say, oh, we're gonna do that, and maybe they don't like this exercise. You will see on their face. So you just cannot do that. There is thousand things you can do. You can find online many exercise. For example, say, okay, now you're gonna talk for 1 minute about that topic, and after I give you feedback. Or maybe I give you a sentence in English, you translate to French. Or maybe there is thousand things that you can do. Just suggest some ideas according to their needs, of course. Say, now I think you have a problem with that grammar point. So you go on Google, you write it, you find a website who do better than you. Maybe you have the roots, copy paste, put it on a Google Doc, explain. That's it. And the fourth thing, very important, always be cheerful. Some teachers, they tend to just point out everything bad. Say, you said that wrong. But for me, I really do the opposite, because people tend to feel down. They say, I don't see any progress. So I always remind them what they do good. For example, we saw a grammar point the week before, and the students say something. I say, oh, you remember from last week? Oh, good. They're very happy. They need that. So about like correct them all the time, you have to find the really right spot. For me, what I do, I always let them speak. I don't cut anything. I just okay. Even if they say something like very wrong, whatever I don't understand, I let them speak because they're trying. And the only time that I stop them, I say, that's something that we've learned already. I say, you remember? Now we've learned. Yeah, sorry. But I will say, okay, no problem. Okay, continue. And that's it. You cannot like every second if they say something wrong, the pronunciation is not good. No, don't cut them. So always be cheerful. Say, okay, good. You did that well today. You remember you did that super well. I'm very happy that you remember that. So now you know for next time. Just always be cheerful. This is paramount. You have to. That's it. And the last thing, as a reminder, you are the teacher. You have to manage the lesson. They don't have to manage anything. You have to show that you in charge. You control. So you control the time. You control the lesson. Everything you have to do. Always have a plan B, plan C, just in case the thing goes fast. But the conversation, always have something to do. For me, sometimes they have like a 10-minute left, but I know the next slide is an exercise that take maybe 15 minutes. So I say we don't have time. I say, okay, so now we're gonna chit chat. I'm gonna ask you about a topic. We're gonna talk. Be creative. Do something. Always have something on the side. Don't have a big blank. Or we have time left. I don't know what to do. I don't know. You manage. You have to manage it very well. So that's how I teach a pure conversation. Like first of all, when a student choose you, they may think they like you first because they shows your profile, right? So they like your face, they like your video. After the trial lesson that you do, start to already bond with them, but not too much. Just like look how friendly you are, what they're gonna get from you. they're gonna have like amazing results, very important. And after, always start my lessons. Oh, what's up? Or what's your weekend? What did you do? Is everything okay? Yeah, like a simple chat, like normal. And after I say, okay, so today we're gonna do that. We're gonna work on that topic. Are you okay with that? Okay. If not, we can work something else. Are you tired? Are you want something more easy? Okay. And I'll say, let's do something easy. Relax, no problem. I say that, and after when they're in the flow, you can go out, no problem. But at first, go with the flow, nice and easy. I say, oh, you want about the economy in your country? I say, oh, no, it's a bit tough. Okay, come on, let's talk about the last album of Ed Sheeran, or I don't know, anything like something like casual. And bam, after you have to manage. You control the conversation. You're the boss here. And if you manage that, you're good to go. You can have like an amazing lesson, give a lot of value, and get a good rate just teaching conversation. Because I told you, like 90% of people who teach conversation, they just answer question, ask question, but they don't put life into it. They don't really manage. They just talk, and most of the time it's always the same thing. Because when you simply do pure conversation, like oh yeah, what's up? Did you travel to that? Do that? It's always the same thing. It's boring. So for me, I like to say, okay, today we're gonna work on that topic only. So today we're gonna talk about family. So you just said 1,000 things you can say about family. There's 1,000. So do you have any brother or sister? Do you love your family-in-law? There is anything you did that your parent didn't know when you were a kid? I don't know. There is 1,000 things you can do. Do you have someone that you think who the person that you love the most in your family? Do you have an aunt or uncle that you think is an amazing person? There is anybody that you hate in your family? You can write I don't know, like 70 questions. It's kind of easy, and you talk about that. You go deep, you ask many things, and as always, as I always say, it doesn't matter what they say, it's how they say it. If they say something that maybe like irritate you, it doesn't matter. This is not your business. You cannot be irritated. It's forbidden. But if they say it wrong, you have to say no. You have to say it like this. This is what they say. And there is one big thing that I want to remind you to conclude this video. The thing is, when you teach a language, most of the time this is like a situational, meaning in a certain situation in that language, like the people from that language, they're gonna say that. Because when you learn a language, you tend to translate in your mind. I can give you like a very, very easy example. Like in English, if you want to buy something, we say like, how much do you want to spend? So how much do you want to spend for a phone, for example. But in French, we don't say how much do you want to spend. If you like a literally word by word, we say how much do you want to put in. Okay, so it's different. So if you know a lot of word in French, you make the sentence yourself because you translate, but it's not correct. In that situation, French people gonna say that. So remind this to them. They have to go outside their comfort zone. And when you talk about many topics, you're gonna have those new situation for them, and they're gonna try to say something. You take notes. You say, okay, so this is great. You say it. I understand. French people understand, or like my language understand. But in that situation, we are going to say that. You correct them. That's it. Easy peasy. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any question, don't hesitate to contact me. I'll be happy to help. Check out my website, and I wish you to have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.